Well, Christian Walker had the best game of 2025, and so did Ronel Blanco. Both guys shined bright tonight. The Astros win another series. We're going to talk about this and keys to the game and what's still missing going forward on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day, especially when the Astros are above 500 for the first time since the first few days of the season. So, Brett, where can they find you at?
Well, they can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Astros411 on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram, and on, everywhere. Just go find me. You know where to find me. Back to the bullpen. Look, man, I'm always positive, always Stros. And remember, we talked last night when the Astros score 4 runs or more, they were 5-1. And then when they are 7-0, they're 5-1. Now they're 6-1, 7-1. I mean, they just keep winning when they stack the runs in that box score.
Today's episode is brought to you by Days Off. It seemed to have helped Cam Smith. Maybe did it help Christian Walker? We're going to talk about that.
Hey.
Ronel Blanco had his best game of the season, and this game meant a lot for Joe Espada. What exactly happened? And the offense did something that has not done a lot this season. And Chris Bassett did something that he has not done a lot this season as well. So, guys, there's so much to talk about on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Thank you for becoming the best part of the Locked On Astros podcast. Go ahead, subscribe to us, make his first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go ahead and check us out. Brett, I'm so excited about this. This is a situation where I don't know if you realize this, but the Astros have given up the fewest runs in the American League this year. This is just crazy to think about it. Only the Padres and the Mets have given up fewer runs. The Mets have given up 66 runs. The Padres have given up 68 runs. Then if you look at the Astros, they have given up 80 runs in the American League. And the only team that have given up about the same amount of runs are the Tigers and the Rangers with 82 and 82. So the Astros have been doing it pitching-wise. They may not have the best results overall, but they have been doing it pitching-wise all season. The hitting has not been doing it. But now, if the hitters put it together right now, then this team could be exactly what we thought they could be.
Right, and water's going to find its level, Eric. We're +9 in run differential. The Rangers that are in first place, they're actually winning tonight against the Oakland or Sacramento Athletics. They still have a -14 run differential. It's insane that they are doing what they're doing. But, the Astros come in against a tough opponent, Chris Bassett. The night before you face Kevin Gausman, you're facing 2 aces. You're facing 2 guys that could easily be a number 1 starter. And you would think with the way that this team has played this year, that there's no way that they're going to win yet another series against a solid team. And Eric, they just keep winning. And they did it with the little things tonight. But Christian Walker and Ronel Blanco both having a solid night. Dude, Ronel Blanco has concerned me in his start to the year. Now, we all know that he's not going to replicate what he did where his very first start, he goes out and throws a no-hitter. It was against the Blue Jays, might I add. But Ronel Blanco's kind of scuffled a little bit. He's been almost there. And today, Eric, to induce 12 swings and misses, that is very good for Ronel Blanco out there on the mound. He goes out there, delivers a solid performance, gives up a solo shot, which is pretty non-consequential to the grand scheme of things. And the Astros win 5-1 tonight against the Blue Jays. You love to see it. You love to see your starting pitching go out there and perform, and your hitters come behind and support him.
To go off, just go and talk about standings while you talked about it. But the Rangers have that negative 14 run differential. They're doing it by luck right now. I think it's yes, their pitching is doing good, but they're also winning with some lucky situations. Good pitching will win a lot of times, but you're not going to have a negative run differential and have winning like they're doing. The Angels and the Astros and the Mariners are currently technically tied for second place in the AL West right now. The Angels have a -9 run differential. The Astros have a +9, like you said, and the Mariners are at a 0 run differential. So they're not above, they're not below. So the Mariners have kind of picked it up a little bit. They've scored more runs than the Astros, ironically, but they've also allowed 21 more runs than the Astros have. So they're a team that's in a bit of a transition because they've been known for pitching. Now they're being known a little bit, ironically, for their offense, which is a big surprise. But the Astros will need to just find out who they are. And right now they're finding out that the pitching is better than we thought that they would be, especially with the emergence of Hayden Wesneski. And you have, I know Arrieta's out. Gusto has been doing a great job. We'll talk about Lance McCullers. He pitched today in just a bullpen. We'll talk about what happened there. But the Angels are kind of a enigma. We don't know what's going to happen. They're 4-6 in the last 10 games. The Astros are 6-4. They're playing much better baseball, more of what you expect to see in terms of the Astros. But going back to Ronel Blanco, not only the Astros, I'll talk about scoring in a second, but Ronel Blanco retired the first 8 batters before he gave up the home run to some guy with the last name Lukes. I mean, random guy with some last name Lukes. But also the Astros did something that they've only done, 2 other times this year. They scored in the first inning. They scored 3 runs in the first inning. Yeah. They've only scored 2 runs all season in the first inning.
Yeah, no, usually I think the tale of the tape in the last couple of years where you've been losing and not winning games that you should have won simply has to do with not jumping on the scoring early, coming up with a deficit, the pitcher going out, giving up 4 or 5 runs. And then what does the club do? Well, the club has to turn things around, and it puts a lot of stress on them. And I just really like where the Astros are trending right now, Eric, because at the end of the day, it's about getting that lead established, allowing your pitcher to settle in, and then the hitters executing at the plate. I'll tell you right now, though, I do have my concerns about Yainer Diaz. Yordan Alvarez is starting to come around, but man, Diaz really needs to get on the ball. He had an opportunity tonight. I'm not saying I wanted him to hit a grand slam, but he had an opportunity. He did reprieve himself a little bit. He did get that RBI earlier. Yeah. I apologize, Mr. Diaz. That one hit, that one double, that one RBI, that was a good moment for him. So he got out there. He got that ball over the plate. He put it in left field. But I still want to see more from Diaz because he's not a career 164 hitter. What is he? Yeah, 155. He's not a career 155 hitter. He just
overall, I think the Astros team is just they're just trying to find out who they are, and the offense, like Alvarez, is not hitting the way he's supposed to. He did have a hit today, but there's a lot of positives from today's game. And Christian Walker, we'll talk about him in a second. He's been somebody that a lot of people are saying, well, this is Jose Abreu 2.0, and you shouldn't have signed him. You wasted a lot of money. You could have brought back Alex Bregman, but yada, 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 instead of bringing back Christian Walker. But Christian Walker is he's struggled a little bit, but a day off sometimes will do you good. And so in this situation, this is a guy that hasn't been, I know he wasn't benched per se. Stars get the day off, but this was a situation where Espada said, hey, look, you're not doing well. Let's go ahead and think about it. And we'll go ahead and think about it over the break, and we'll go and continue this conversation. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
You've heard me talk about supplyhouse.com, and you know a skilled tradesman. If you're not one of them who is into plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus brands, you'll find exactly what you need, delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for that extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and order your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use a promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and check us out. Go ahead, subscribe to us. We're trying to get to 14,000 subscribers. We're about 300, maybe a little bit less away. Go ahead and hit that little red button down there. Go and make two Astros fans very happy. And go ahead and support Michael Connor over there with the Locked On Astros podcast as well. So go ahead and wherever you listen to us, go ahead and make us your first listen. So I know that it's been kind of an up and down season, but it's nowhere as bad as the start to the 2024 season. And the Astros look like they're coming out of it. And I know it's a new cast of characters. It's easy to throw shade at the new guy. And that stupid commercial that keeps on coming on with the scapegoat, that bah, and everything on the stupid thing. It's so annoying. But right now, Astros fans are trying to make Christian Walker the scapegoat. Well, he's the reason why the Astros aren't doing so well. And I can see why. You go out there, spend all this money, 3 years of Christian Walker, and he doesn't do what he's paid to do. But Christian Walker took it like a pro when Espada approached him and said, hey, I'm going to give you the day off. I want you to sit down and reflect and do what you, and then we'll go ahead and get you back out there next day. So in this game, he had 3 hits, including a double. It was a hard hit double, by the way. He had an RBI and scored a run, and they looked like more professional at bats. Dude. Like he was swinging out of his shoes like he's looked like recently.
Well, just speaking of, was it Walker's last hit where it looked like a home run? It was a line drive double that he hit out there. Looking phenomenal. But everything in this game, Eric, offense, defense, pitching, it all worked. Jeremy Pena with that amazing throw to first base. Just absolutely. Someone said, I love JP3's defense. Now, look, remember I talked last night about, and this was the press notes today before the game. Okay, look at these stats. The Astros, when they score 4 runs or more, are 6-1. Well, tonight they won. So now they're 7-1. That number 4 is a key number. Current win streak 1. Well, now they have 2. They have their second 2-game win streak, and their current homestand, they are 3-1. You love to see that, Eric. I mean, they are playing good baseball. They are turning it around, but they're turning it around almost systematically. Look, Rogers comes in. He's still the dude just gets in there and battles. I love seeing him in there. He had the walk. He actually had an RBI because it was a sacrifice situation, but everybody contributed. Altuve with the 1 hit. He did have 2 strikeouts. Jake Myers was 0 for 4. He had a second 0 for night. Cam Smith was 0 for 3. Someone said, well, maybe DeCenzo gets the start tomorrow over Smith. Let Smith rest. But I don't care who you put in there. What Joe Espada is doing, who just won his 100th game, he's mixing that lineup up, and I think the guys are feeling it.
A couple of notes. Don't forget that Joe Espada's first win was on Blanco's no-hitter. Right. So Blanco started there, and then his 100th win was Blanco winning that game. So that's why it said Espada's 100th win. So it's kind of I'm not saying this closes the door on Joe Espada by any means, but it's just kind of a good situation where Blanco has kind of been the steadying force ever since Joe Spada has been the manager. And another thing, DeZenzo or Cam Smith were both kind of questionable to start today's game. I know that Cam Smith got hit by a pitch yesterday, so he was kind of questionable about that. And then DeZenzo also slid into a base, jammed his finger, and had some imaging done. So it was kind of like, okay, we don't know who's going to be able to play in right field, but whoever's ready will play in right field. It wasn't DeZenzo. DeZenzo may not be ready to play in tomorrow's game too. So that was
that's
the
true.
only
I didn't
reason
think about
why.
that. Yeah, he may be out. But the JP3 running out for the fly ball and Cam Smith pulling up and Jeremy Pena, and I mean, they covered so much ground so quickly. And then not only did he catch it, but he bobbled it.
Right.
It was like an over-the-shoulder bobble catch. You love to see. And those are things, though, that get you going as a team. Someone said earlier today, they're hitting the ball. They're having fun. They're enjoying the game. They're not pressing. And so the big things get smaller. And when they're smaller, they're easier to deal with. And I think we are trending in the right direction. We're not throwing any championship banners or planning any parades right now. But everybody that was belly aching and everybody that was crying and, Christian Walker this and this guy that. Well, okay, you just hold your horses because Kimosabi, when we get to the end, we'll have been there the entire time because we're tried and true to this team.
I know yesterday we were talking a lot about Hunter Brown and his ERA title and trying to maybe possibly win the Cy Young. Chris Bassett was a guy that was in competition with him. I believe yesterday he had a 0.77 ERA. Well, that ballooned to 1.88 after today's game. So that's because Bassett gave up 2 runs, I believe, in the entire season so far, or something like that. But he gave up 3 runs in the first inning today. So the Astros came out on fire. They scored. They did something, like I said, they haven't done a lot. And not only that, Brett, but yesterday when we were talking about Hunter Brown, we talked about this after the podcast. I'm like, I didn't realize that Hunter Brown was leading the American League in pitchers whip. Do you know which other Astros pitcher is in the top 5 in terms of starters whip?
Would it be Arrighetti?
Nope.
Wisniewski.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Wisniewski.
He has a
I thought it was.
0.87.
I said Arrighetti. Do it now. He has a what now?
0.87 whip.
Dude, Wisniewski has been the under the radar best part of this trade. I'm serious. Like he's a number 5 starter. You don't expect your number 5 starter to go out and do what the 1 through 3 does. Now, it doesn't mean he can't, but that's typically there's a pecking order. And Wisniewski, I told everybody the Cubs misused him. His sweeper and the stuff he has plays well. He doesn't like the streak he has for giving up solo shots in games, but that I believe will get fixed. Look, I just think we're on our way to see more and more winning as the season gets older.
Brett, I just got a notification from Brian McTaggart that Joe Spada said that the Zenzo, his thumb is better and he should start tomorrow. So
there we go. Yeah, I just saw that. Cool.
Yeah, because especially after a game like he had, you want to try to keep his bat in the lineup in some way, like get him playing DH, get him in left field, have Altuve play DH. There's ways to get DeZenzo's bat into the lineup. And it's hard to figure out, like right now, the only person you could possibly sit, maybe, I know this is not his first day off. Maybe it's time to sit down Alvarez and just say, hey, big fella, we know that you're going to get out of this. We're not worried about you, but let's take a day off. Hey, let's reflect and see what happens.
Guess who leads in RBI and home run for this team?
Who?
Isaac Paredes. Isaac Paredes with this solo shot tonight. He has 13 RBI. He passed Jordan, who was at 12, and he has 4 home runs. So he's taken the club lead for home runs, which, I mean, I'd love to see. We brought him here 4 home runs. Right. Cam Smith, Jeremy Pena, and Altuve all have 3. Jordan still only has 2. Those numbers, I think, are going to turn around. Christian Walker, is going to start hitting more, I believe. And look, this club is on its way up.
I think this offense is better than we think it is. I think it's been fool's gold. I think it's just smoke and mirrors, whatever the phrase you want to use. But guys, you know what's not smoke and mirrors? All our Locked On Astros listeners, thank you for being the best part of the Locked On Astros podcast.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Astros. And if you want to get cracking and get snacking with the snack that packs the protein punch, visit wonderfulpistachios.com. It's one of the highest protein nuts out there, and each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. That's right. These little green wonders pack the protein punch. They are great. They have the shell option, the no shell option, whether you're snacking at your desk or on a road trip. You just want a quick protein boost. Quit having the snacks that attack you and attack the snack time with the protein punch. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. That's right. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Wonderful Pistachios. They are wonderful.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether you're a wonderful fan or just a okay fan, whatever you are, thank you for making us your best part of your day and becoming an everydayer. And Brett, the Astros, believe it or not, are tied for 8th in the fewest amount of home runs allowed by their pitching staff with 21 home runs. The New York Mets, they are off to a historic start in terms of starting pitching at home. Overall, they've allowed the fewest runs at home, but right now they've allowed 10 home runs, but the Astros have allowed 21 home runs. They're tied with the Cardinals right now. So
wait,
I think
21 home runs on the whole season or at home?
No, on the whole season.
Okay.
So, but the Mets pitching staff has only given up 10 home runs. Remember how the Astros were struggling with any type of power against the Mets to open the season? There's a reason why, because the Mets pitching staff is pretty darn good. And the Astros are showing the Blue Jays that, hey, we're a pretty good team. So I think a lot of players were, or maybe not players, but a lot of teams, talking heads, whatever you want to say, were probably counting the Astros out. Well, they traded away Kyle Tucker. They went ahead and lost Alex Bregman. But now, and then they got off to a bad start. But we saw them do this before. This team has this kind of fire, and I think that we're going to see the best. But Brett, I don't think we've seen the best from Cam Smith. Yes, he went 0 for 3 today, but he had one of the most professional at-bats today. He had one the other day against a closer where the guy was throwing 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But he got a walk today, and he ended up getting stranded with bases loaded. And Brett, can they do something with bases loaded? Is that too much to ask? Like 2 bases loaded with 1 out with Altuve and Alvarez up? Can you do something, fellas? Come on, man.
What I was talking about earlier with Diaz. You know, he had a chance. All he had to do was hit it. Just give me a single. But yeah, bases loaded. They're just not there. They'll get there eventually. I think they'll be fine. Situational hitting is always a concern. But you've got, look at this. Jose Altuve. The Astros played their 10,000th game the other day, and Jose Altuve's played in 1,843 of those games. He's within striking distance of Jose Cruz. This dude's career is going to be so all said and done. But Eric, when what the Astros are doing with the limited production that they've produced this year, I still think, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stand on this, I still think that they are better overall when they get going in their full strength than even the Texas Rangers. And I know pretty much everyone in baseball would disagree with me, and I'm fine with that. But I don't trust the health of the long-term health of the pitching of the Rangers. I haven't seen a whole lot. I mean, Wyatt Langford just came back. Now I think he hit a home run today. So they're going to love that. But at the same time, there's nothing they have to me that separates them from us that much. So I don't think we're worlds apart like Rangers Nation thinks we are. I still think this is a 2-horse race. I don't think the Mariners will threaten. I don't think the Angels will threaten. And I'm sorry, the Athletics that were predicted to be the division champs by Booney. Look, Booney, I love you, man, and I know you love your A's, but them being AOS champs this year is just not going to be a reality.
I forgot to mention this earlier. I don't know if you realize this, but the Astros have allowed 2 hits on back-to-back nights to the Blue Jays. That a team as loaded as the Blue Jays lineup is, that's just hard to do. It's hard to even imagine. And the home runs, I think that Blanco gave up a home run and then a hard single, and then nothing else from there. You had Brian Keane, you had Abreu come in, and then Josh Hader. And call me a conspiracy theorist, but Josh Hader is on a whole different level this year. Could have been Ryan Presley. That being the issue, like the whole, like Ryan Presley being there, not that Ryan Presley was the issue, but the fact that Josh Hader came in, took the job, and then, or the Astros gave him the job. And then there's that kind of pressure to be the guy instead of a natural progression into being a closer like he's been in the past.
Well, I mean, it could be one of 1,000 things, right? I think one of the things too, anytime a player signs a contract like he signed, there's got to be some innate pressure there, the $95 million and the pressure of that, knowing that he's been the best closer in the last 5 years, right? Knowing that he's replacing a guy that's been an elite top 5 closer, which, Josh Hader doesn't come across as an egomaniac, Eric. So probably, that's what I think a lot of fans forget is these men on the field are humans. They're not robots. They are humans. And I don't care if they make 30 million, 70 million, or 250,000. Okay. They are all human and they all react to things just like you and I do. And it is all about not what you did. It's about what you're going to do. It's about how you're going to react. And Josh Hader took last season clearly focused on stuff where he was getting nailed on and said, I'm going to be better. He was not satisfied with his year. And that's what you love to see. And that's where I think Hunter Brown is becoming this ace, is because Hunter Brown reminds me a lot of Justin Verlander. When I was talking to Justin Verlander last year and he talked about all the adjustments he was still making 16, 17 years in the majors, that's the kind of mindset that Hunter Brown has. And the thing is, we haven't even seen the best of Hunter Brown, Eric. Hunter Brown is chasing a Cy Young right now. We haven't even seen the best of Hunter Brown. He's still going up. He's trending up. I think Fromber's going to be plateauing, but Hunter Brown is the ace of this club, and that's the mindset we need more to go throughout the clubhouse.
And I like the flexibility of this lineup. I know that a lot of people did not want that Alvarez batting second, but so far the Astros offense has started being a little bit more productive. And this, I don't know if it's Paredes giving him support. You had a lot of people struggling, but I like the fact that they moved Pena up. Pena had, I don't want to overlook the fact that he had a 3-hit day and he had a monster rocket that hit off the Crawford boxes. It was 108 miles per hour. It was a single that he got thrown out at a advantage to a double, but everybody thought it was going to be a double. So I could see why he went there.
He has the speed. I mean, he's the guy that runs through Perez Chica like it's nothing, Perez Chica. Right. Now, that second time he ran through, I had someone show a different view of that play. And I think Perez Chica is holding up the guy behind him on second base. I don't think he's putting the stop sign up to Pena, because if you go back and look, there's a still shot of it somewhere. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. He's not even looking at Pena. He's looking over at second doing this with his hand. So I think that stop sign that we thought he was going through, he had already been given the sign to go, and he was telling the guy at second to stop. But regardless, it still looked cool.
Yeah, doesn't matter. But Blanco did great. Jeremy Pena with a career high 13-game hitting streak. He looks like he's going up. I think the Astros offense is progressing up. I would like to see a little bit more from Alvarez, but I think once he gets comfortable, we know that what he can do. And you're getting some production at second base from Rogers. Not a lot, but he is what he is at this point. He's not the superstar that a lot of people thought he was going to be at the beginning of his career, but he's a good role piece for what the Astros need. If Altuve is going to be playing left field, then we're going to go ahead and just we need somebody to play second base. And so I'm excited to see what the Astros do in Game 3. This is a big matchup. You don't technically have to sweep, but you want to get greedy. You want to go out there. It's Jeff Francis versus Ryan Gusto. Francis had a good, I believe he was a rookie last year, and he had a good second part of the season. He's been up and down. I know that because I picked him up for one start in baseball, fantasy baseball, then dropped him immediately because he got shelled. But this is a guy that has a big upside, but the Astros have the momentum going for them. They're getting more confident, and I think that they can get the job done.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be great to see the Astros get their first sweep of the season tomorrow. They start at 6:40 a little bit earlier, so we'll be able to jump in a little bit earlier with you guys and girls. We thank y'all for tuning in to Locked On Astros. For Eric and myself and all of us here, part of the production team, everybody behind the camera, y'all have a good one. And as always, Eric, what do we say?
Go Astros, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Look, Joe came back, our Ranger friend. I think he's secretly a Astros fan.
Say it right.